Hey, glad you can make it. Welcome to Fantasy Dad Pods, where dad bods are glorified and dad jokes are encouraged. I'm JT, accompanied by Sean. Sean, how we doing?
We are doing good. First time in a while. Out of the country, came back in, sleep adjusting back. Um, uh, uh, Kids did okay on the plane.
Good.
Better on the way back than the way there. But all in all, not horrible. There were moments that were horrible, but I mean that was to be expected. They didn't last very long, so I was like, okay, that was like I knew there's gonna be some rough periods. That was just gonna happen. They just didn't last very long. So I was like, okay, that's fine. That's good. That's what minimize the rough patches. And there was just a couple. You just let the kids do what they're gonna do. Let them pass out. Tablets, candy, food, whatever. Just as long as you're not screaming, you'll eventually get so tired you'll pass out. And the youngest fought it, fought it, fought it. The oldest got tired. We could tell. We're like, okay, we're gonna take the tablet away. Next one more episode. Then he just passed out. The youngest fought it, fought it, fought it. Eventually was okay. I lost it. Lost the battle. But they we've done this trip before and made similar like, oh, here we go, let's do X, Y, and Z. And the kids, they slow down the transition period. They slow down the period come back. So that was rough. That was oh, we'll do this, we'll get this time in, we'll get this, and they're like, nah, let's not do that. So but that was all good. And then we're back at it, work and everything, and we're back at the kids started kindergarten now, young oldest. So there we are, kindergarten.
Yeah, I
Uh,
saw your wife post on social media and like, cheers to first week of kindergarten. I was like, it was 2 days. I don't know if we can call it a full week. I mean, technically, I
you know
mean,
how
I
kindergarten is. It's for them. It feels like a whole week. It's rough sometimes.
you're leaving
It
me here from 9 to 3,
yeah.
6 whole hours. What
They
did I do?
they are yeah they are. There's some meltdowns. There's some it's a lot. It's a lot. And there's classes of kids. They're all on they have all their teachers have their pictures lined up and everything like that. It's pretty well functioned, organized thing we got over there at that school. So it's pretty impressive to see how they let them in and let them out. So, but we're gonna try it again tomorrow, and see how it goes again. But yeah, that's been we've been chugging along, chugging along. How about you?
Side note, my buddy from coaching baseball, his wife is your PTO president and then also substitute teacher. So yeah, I've heard really good things about that school. Um,
They're actively recruiting grandma to be a substitute as well. So
oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean,
so
why
we'll see.
not?
We'll see.
Why not? Man, month of August kind of flew by. Nothing but, I mean, 3 days a week of tackle football and soccer practice starting up and um I don't know, trips. Went to the beach. We went to Silverwood amusement park.
Local theme park for those that don't know. Silverwood.
Yeah. Um
And slash water park now. It's almost more known for the water park. I feel like now at this point.
Kind of more known. Yeah, it's and
Yeah.
today was the last day the water park was
Yeah.
open with Labor
Yeah.
Day. Yeah, a lot of fun. Wife went on like a mother-daughter Vegas trip for a couple days, so I solo dadded it.
There you go.
Um so that was fun. But yeah, and then just ended it off with, fantasy football weekend this weekend, just putting a cherry on top. Oh,
All right.
speaking of which, went to
Yeah,
Slushy King
Slushy
for my
King. Yes.
anniversary.
Yes, for those that don't know, we talked about it before, but JT is a Slurpee connoisseur. Yeah, we used to go hard on the Slurpees when we were roomies. And yeah, I saw that. I was driving past that. Like I was doing something in downtown over there. We don't, because for reference, we live very far away from that area. It's not we have like downtowns between there and there, so like we're not over there often. I was driving. I was like, oh yeah, that really busy old 7-Eleven closed. And then I saw Slurpee King going in there, and I was like, "Oh, JT." I was like, "He probably already knows. He probably like his spidey sense tingled the Slurpee King." And that
I'm
was
a
impressive. The pictures you sent.
yeah, private investor,
Yeah, yeah. Unknown investor gave a blank check.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 flavors on tap. Um mostly of I mean, technically it's icy flavors, but it's a slurpy consistency. It's not a
Yeah.
slush. It's
Yeah.
got that kind of CO2 vibe with the what traditional 7-Eleven Slurpee that you're used to. Couple sugar-free flavors and kind of it was cool, good prices. It's just like a little convenience store in there mainly. You can get like beer, wine, pop, candy.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like it's cool. I hope it does well. It's kind of just like in the middle of like not next to anything. Like if you took
Yeah.
that, like what we did, so we randomly went up to a family thing up near Dayton.
Yep.
The wife's uncle kind of like DIY built this little cabin in the woods over the last few years, and he kind of finished it. And then he's like, "Hey, come out for a barbecue." So we went up there for like a half day, and we drove by the main area where you play soccer in Pasco, right next to Giza Stadium. Like it's, I don't know, 2 acres of just soccer fields, jam packed.
They
And
love the soccer fields we're at in Washington.
yeah, we left, late morning, and we came back late afternoon. It was like it didn't change. I was like, could you imagine just having like a lemonade stand, just like a business that sells drinks, like to keep people hydrated? Like it was crazy. So it was just like, something like that convenience store Slush King. It was right next to a movie theater where you could bring stuff in, or right next to something like that. But I heard there's a pickleball club right next to the McDonald's that's next to the Flash Cube in Kennewick. And I guess it's like fully indoors building where all the little food trucks are out front. So you got indoor pickleball with the full bar and like individual food trucks out front. I'm like, that sounds like a cool spot.
Yeah.
So
our town is being taken over by food trucks, and I'm not sad about it. They have like a couple of local areas. I haven't been to a new one. There's one opening. There's one in Kennewick that opened, and it's called the Hub, and it's got surrounded by food trucks with a court inside. And yeah, they're opening another one. I haven't been there yet, but here it's nice, and so yeah, we're getting vibes. We're getting the. I feel like we're turning very big Portland vibes. Like food trucks, all that stuff, like pickleball. We're kind of just like a couple of years behind it. I feel like, but
it's kind of bougie. We're kind of getting like this like niche bougie kind of businesses. Nothing like corporate uptight. Like we're just
everything's
trying
corporate.
to be eclectic.
Yeah, we famously love the chains in our town, but the food trucks are the non-chains. I feel like everyone's you're like, oh, that food truck, and it's because it's like a non-chain restaurant. All the brick and mortar restaurants are chains, like around here. So it's just like, if you're gonna be brick and mortar, you're gonna be a chain probably. But if you're not, food truck. Like we went to El Fat Cat Grill. Shout out. Technically a food truck, but they have a food truck now. But it was a food truck, but it didn't go anywhere anymore. So like they set that up and got a nice location.
Yeah. Whenever we're out that way, like on a Friday, because they're only open during the week, we always stop there. I've been going there since like they were in Richland when they first started. That was a long time ago. That was like 15 years ago.
We've chased them around.
They recognize me still, like Felix and his wife, and I always walk up, and then she's, oh, hey, you, how's it going? Like that thing. And then I pick up the order, and he's like at the window, and then he kind of like side eyes me, and he's like, what's up? Like, it's just like, I know you, I recognize you. Like, you're still coming back.
I'm like, ginger. Yeah, there's only how many, I guess.
Right? But it's like this weird, like, I was just like, yeah, it's like kind of like I have a lifetime membership, but I'm still, like paying and whatever. But it's just like, this is good people.
Yeah. Well, shout out fantasy football drafts. This is gonna be a football centric pod, since so we haven't had one in August to talk kind of before drafts, and so season's about to start as of recording. But we've done a couple drafts, and JT, I want to get yours. We've done one together. I've done one auction, and you did one with your oldest.
Yes.
Right. 2 QB league. Break it down. How do you do? How'd you do? What's going down?
Okay, so let me pull it up here. So yeah, 9-year-old first time doing any type of fantasy draft. So last year near the end, I was kind of showing him, my football, and he's like, "I want to do that next year." I was like, "Okay, let's try to make it happen." And so kind of was able to put it all together. And so ultimately, it ended up being a 10-team league, 2 QB league, and so that did change kind of the initial draft,
Yeah.
if you will. But I think he ended up with a really good team. So this is on Yahoo. By the way, like getting him set up was so much easier when I was trying to remember, like when you guys, like you introduced me to fantasy and like how it was a couple hoops to jump through. Like this was just so like easy, click, click, done.
They've done so much work since we started. Yeah.
Although too much. I'm sorry, Yahoo,
So,
but like they're charging premium to do mock drafts now. You have to pay like $2.49 on a monthly
well,
fee to
I
do
think that is
stuff.
there was a nice sweet spot like a couple years ago, like 3 years ago, where Yahoo when we started, there was just a couple, ESPN and Yahoo, and it was really not a lot of competition. There's nothing else, but they really slacked. There wasn't a lot. It was very basic. They had to get better, better, and better as like more things came in the industry. But then we've all these subscription services. So now they're like, what can we charge in the middle of using Yahoo? So yeah, yeah, that's why I don't mock much anymore. So
Yeah.
or find a alternate place to mock.
I just wanted to show him the software we'd be on so he could
Yeah.
practice drafting and like the layout of the screen. And I mean, heck, during COVID one year, Yahoo beefed it up so much you could video chat with your like that. There's like a 2-year window, I think, that like it was like, in my opinion, like the best of the best, especially for it being free and then all the features. And then all of a sudden, they took away the video part, and then yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's constantly changing. I don't blame him. Like it does cost money. I understand. So he is a bandwagon fan. He's got recency bias, so he likes the Eagles. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I you know
You
it
know.
it's a phase. He's 9. So he went Saquon with the first pick. He was
Okay.
the ninth. He was the ninth pick out of the
Uh,
10 teams.
understand. Okay. Okay. That's not ridiculous. Okay.
But all the QBs had really gone, so I was just like, I don't mind that. Like you get like RB1 for sure. And then he went Brock Purdy. Then he came back with the AJ Brown and a Drake May. So honestly, in a 2 QB, his QBs are a little bit on the weaker side, but I think all of his other players, the non QB on his roster, are solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, he zigged and zagged through it, and just kind of I was trying to give him enough advice to like try to make him think, but ultimately make the decision for himself. So the roster goes QB, QB, RB, RB, wide receiver. He was trying to do that like a checklist. So when he got to
Oh
like
yeah.
tight end, he's like, I need tight end, then I need a flex, then I need a kicker. I was like, no, like
Yeah.
like go off the expert rank, go off the ADP. Like I showed you that you can, so there's so much to like, and it's hard to like juggle it and prioritize in the moment.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think he did just fine. But again, it was just like pick the players that you know or you like or you've heard of, and then you can root for them when they play. And that's kind of just a part of fantasy football, right? It's just for fun.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
it was pretty good. I think I think so. It worked out really well because I picked before him, and then he went, boom, boom, and then I picked after him, so I could kind of juggle my priority. But I was on my phone and it crashed like 4 different times. So this is what I was telling him. I was like, "This is why you set a queue.
Yep.
It
Yep.
comes really in handy." So I think twice it maybe once it definitely kind of like quote unquote burned me, but it was so early in the draft that it was still a decent player. But yeah, it was fun. I ended up with Burrow and Kyler, Brian Thomas, Drake London, Omarion Hampton, and James Conner. So I mean, I think I have a pretty solid team. So it was just fun to like give him some advice, but also like try to navigate through it as well.
Eagles fan, huh? Okay. All right, we'll let that one slide. We'll let that slide. Okay. Well, we're all young. We make mistakes. You know how it goes.
Yeah, he really just started paying attention in January, so it was just like playoff
Oh yeah.
teams only, and then
Yeah.
all the kids are pretty much talking about the teams that won during the playoffs, and then all of a sudden, once he's like really into it, there's really only 2 teams to talk about, so the
Mhm.
timing was really skewed, and so kind of whoever won the Super Bowl, this last year was gonna probably most likely be the team he was fixated on the most. So,
Yeah, we'll see a full season who he's watching.
right?
Get your work in there. Get some Seahawks stuff. Like, oops, drop this
Yeah.
and a fiver. Oh, there's a $5 bill with that Seahawks stuff. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Uh, the dogs ate your entire wardrobe, and it just got replaced with only
There
Seahawks
was an error
jerseys.
in like the shipping. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting. I did a couple drafts. We did one together. Let's go over that one. I just want to give a quick rundown. I did an auction, and I want to know your thoughts. So I had a couple players I really wanted in mind, and they got snagged just because the simple idea of me not wanting to spend just. I have like okay, I like X, Y, and Z, but there is a limit to like what I'm willing to do for that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a keeper because my team was bad last year. It was one of those we talked about this last year. It was one of those where you're drafting and you're like, what is happening? like as you're doing it, you're like, this is. It's like what is it that will I crash and like what is it the hang glider when crash I mean I'm crashing and I was like what's happening and I'm dead. It was in real time. So I was like no shock. I mean, I had some good players, but not like I'm not keeping Josh Allen for $50 of a 200 keeper league. Like, it's not a fourth of my money is not going for Josh Allen. He went
Yeah.
for 40 this year, so $10 less than it would cost me to keep him anyways. I got Lamar Jackson for 34. Like, good pick, like good value. $16 left for Lamar Jackson. All day. So I went half PPR, but I went later on, my team will get better as it goes as well. So that I mean, I have Brandon Ayuk and Jordan Addison. So I've got like week 6, they both should be there, boom, ready to go. I'm assuming week 6 for Brandon Ayuk. I have those two options. Those are bench options. But my other bench is Javonte Williams backup for Dallas and Brian Robinson Jr. San Francisco receivers, whatever. Nick Chubb is a starter on my bench. But then I got my starters are Puka and Nico Collins. Both have a realistic shot. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are the best receivers. Nico and Puka have have a decent shot of finishing as the best fantasy receiver, if that makes sense. Like fantasy separate than real. Like those two are much more talented than my two guys. But fantasy wise, I think Nico might be number 1 at the end of the year. There's nothing else. Tank Dell's it's still hurt. All that stuff. Like no digs. It's him, and he's a stud. So he's gonna get so many targets in Puka. My running backs are Kenneth Walker and Pacheco. Flex is Warren. So 3 starters. Kenneth Walker does get hurt. I get it. Like, and Kansas City offensive player. Let's do it. Let's see what
Mm-hmm.
see what it is. Like starting running back for Kansas City. Say less. And then my quarterback's Lamar Jackson. So I'm pretty happy with that. Tight end is Evan Ingram. Shout out Rob. What's up? But he's still not great, Rob. I'm sorry, but and the Patriots and then Baltimore's new kicker. So wish me luck on those two. But I think I didn't punt. I didn't punt it this year. I got a shot. I'm in the running. What do you think, JT? Am I toast? Do I got a shot?
Oh yeah.
12-team league. 12-team league.
Oh, for 12 team for sure. I feel
Yeah.
like you're definitely in the playoffs, and then it's just see what luck comes your way. I mean, that's really
who's healthy. Yeah.
With football, yeah. Saying all those names got me thinking. Like, okay, so the draft I did with the 2Q with my kid was Yahoo, and then you're doing
ESPN.
ESPN, but it's auction, so it kind of doesn't totally matter the platform. But then I actually did draft with a bunch of cornhole buddies, and that was on ESPN, and that was in the same day,
Okay.
yesterday, and it was really interesting because of just like the rankings,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I felt like Yahoo was a lot more competitive and a lot more aligned with the values I would have thought the players should be taken. Where in ESPN, I was like, wait, this guy's in the second round. This is a steal. It's
Yeah.
just like these reactions where I was like, oh my gosh, like who do I pick between these two studs in
And
the third round?
I haven't seen the
It,
rankings because I haven't done a straightforward ESPN one. Which I have one on Wednesday, but I have auction. It just like sorts it by position usually, so I
yeah.
haven't even seen what it looks like. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So just those first like 4 rounds, that's kind of like the meat and potatoes right there.
yeah,
There was a huge difference where I just felt like the stratification of dudes was like a lot greater on ESPN, where I was just like, wow, why are they valuing this guy so much lower? Like I will gladly, So in Yahoo, I was just like, oh, yep, cream rose to the top, and this will be a lot more competitive because just
yeah.
that's just kind of how it's set up and presented to most of the users. They're not going to come in with their own, rankings or whatever. They're just kind of
And,
loosely follow.
and we've given this advice before, but it was good advice for your son. Is don't on a home league. If you're listening to this, a home league. Don't stray too far from the standings, the projected ones, at least in the first half of the draft. Not because you might think there's other value, but because other people in your league are going to stick really close to that. And so if you go way down, we're saying it like value wise, no one's going to reach for that guy in a home league. We did, the Wharf League and all that stuff, and that league was just like you're 3 rounds in, and it's a free for all. It is the guys you want, and it was just like boom, boom, boom. If you're in a hyper competitive league where everyone knows their stuff, yeah, rankings less, but like in home leagues, stick to it because you're giving away value. If you're like, I really like, I don't know, like I'm just looking at the quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, you don't have to stray far from where he's going in the things. Now, if you're like on an end, you're like, okay, I got to kind of plan out ahead if he's going to be back on like a loop or something. But like, you don't have to go rounds in advance because like he's going to go around where he's projected to go because you're not in a crazy advanced league. You're not in like these guys who are studying in the off season, things like that. It's really just stick close to the vest because you're just giving away rounds and players you should be snagging before them. So that's so I guess I'm looking at quarterbacks. We're gonna go through positions pretty quickly because we'll cover the three. We don't have to cover tight ends. Tight ends is like 4 guys. Um, let's just go quarterbacks. There's I call them the big five. Josh Allen, Lamar, Jalen Hurts kind of is lower, but Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Those are the five I would say. Jaden Daniels is up there. He's like in a sub for me. I don't know about you, but it's a rookie. I'm like, okay, you like absolutely do this again. You're in the top 6. I just kind of you're 1B because I need you just to do it one more time. I don't have to do the exact same thing, but I need you to kind of do like 85% of what you did before, and then you're in this tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I would think, yeah, the 5 in a tier. Yeah, I'm right in line with what you're saying there. It
And
makes a lot of sense.
and then after that, I don't want to immediately go free for all, but it's really who you like. You got the Baker Mayfields, Bo Nixes, Kyler Murray's, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Stack. I'd say that's kind of another tier, but it's like all those have real question marks. And it's which question mark are you least worried about? Is Kyler healthy? Does Bo Nix take a step? Was Baker Mayfield legit in the times he was legit last year? Brock Purdy, is he healthy? Is the 49ers offense good again? Justin Herbert, is he throwing the ball to me and JT this year? I like will someone catch it when he throws the ball? Dak Prescott, I guess the offense isn't still a question, but are they going to have to put up 1 billion points because there's no defense? Like things like there's real questions. I don't question the other 5 and then Jaden Daniels, but like the other ones out of that one, JT, I guess who are you liking out of the rest of the pack? I want to say like tier 2.
I think I would lean on either the strength of schedule or just the overall weapons or things like that. Like I'm kind of interested to see like a Justin Fields with what looks like a pretty nice schedule setup and like a full-time role. Like, what what is the potential is there. I feel like he's a really high floor with how much he's historically ran the football himself. It's like names like that where I'm just like, I feel like I know what Dak's about. I feel like if he's healthy, I know, like, I don't think the ceiling is quite as high, but it's just like, there's different question marks. I wish I would like Caleb Williams more because new coach and offensive, guru is just like, and all the weapons he's got, but it's just like he just, I don't know. I have questions about just him himself, but I don't know. It's just kind of all over. I
It's who you like,
actually,
really. Yeah,
yeah,
it comes to that.
I'm just kind of going all over the place because, yeah, I mean, like, even Baker Mayfield, in terms of, like, he ended up as a top 5 quarterback in fantasy last year, and
Mhm.
they lost it. They lost their, was it the
Yeah,
offensive coordinator
yeah,
from there?
their
The play
OC.
caller? Yeah.
Yeah, he's coaching. Oh gosh, don't. Uh, one of the teams. I'm drawing a blank on
Yeah.
it right now, but yeah, he got a head coaching job.
And so that, I mean, that should be some type of transition or change. I'm I've been kind of hesitant about it.
Jacksonville. He's Jacksonville's guy.
That's right. Yep.
Yep.
And, I've been hesitant about taking much of Detroit's offense this year, just seeing how they rebound. So, I mean, it's just like, I think there might be a mix there. Drake May intrigues me. Um, Brock,
I like the guys Bo Nix, Kyler Murray because they run like you
yeah,
said
Bo
with the kid
Nix.
with Justin Fields.
Hmm.
Running gives you a floor.
Hmm.
Like I don't know of all of them. I Justin Fields, Bo Nix, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray shows me the most in the passing game, but there's really ebbs and flows, and he's always nicked up. I feel like so it's just like Bo Nix is a rookie. Like he didn't show much in the deep passing game. What can he do to year two? Justin Fields not much passing, but I think they're going to hold. They have a defensive minded head coach. They're going to hold the ball close to their chest, run it a bunch with him and with the running backs. A lot of goal line touchdowns with him, more than the other two for sure, because Justin Fields is way bigger than those two. Caleb Williams, like you said, man, like all the weapons, the OC of your dreams. Like if it's not this year, man, I don't want to say a guy's out on year two, but like if I don't see signs by the end of the year, but like flat, I don't need to see signs as my starting quarterback in fantasy. I want to see out of the gate what you got, and and then the funniest part is like the two people that with the most talent are Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott, and Justin Herbert's O line's hurt already. They didn't really get any passing catchers. They re-got Keenan Allen. How old is that guy now? Dak Prescott does have Pickens, but like that's the Cowboys, and it always feels like there's so much drama around that. I'm not a fan of their head coach that they signed, or they got their OC Shoddy. The two with the most talent, I feel like, are the ones that I have the hugest question marks. So I'm like, I'm just gonna roll with maybe guys with less talents, like you said, high floor, like Justin Fields, like a guy who's gonna run and get me some touchdowns or something. Thankfully, in all my leagues, I've gotten one of the five. I haven't had to. I got a Joe Burrow and some Lamar Jackson action. So, and my goal is not to deal with it in my last league that I have. So wish me luck, but I'll let you know how it goes next week if I have to roll the dice. I'm liking some way down there Matthew Stafford, like if healthy, clearly, but like you have Puka, good tight end, you have a good O line, running back I like, you have Devontae and Puka, like say less, like you have Sean McVay,
Hmm.
just your 38 and have a back injury, like that's huge value down there if he's healthy. Tua, same thing, he's down here too, 32%. If he's healthy, we see what he does when he's healthy. There's just it feels like every twice a year he's having like UFC style concussions on the football field,
Yeah.
and I'm
I
terrified for him.
I think you'd want either, obviously, spend the draft capital early, get one of the top 5. If you're somewhere floating in, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, one of those running tech quarterbacks with a really solid floor and some upside falls, snag them. Otherwise, I'm totally fine with waiting and
Yep.
waiting and then getting like a Jordan Love, CJ Stroud,
Yeah,
the
I,
Tua that's just like shot in the dark. Bryce Young, is he going to repeat it? I don't know. Let's find out. Like
I like
it.
JJ too. JJ McCarthy,
Hmm.
Justin Jefferson, Addison's going to come back after suspension. Kevin O'Connell is a genius. Won Coach of the Year last year.
Hmm.
You could do a lot worse than just lobbing balls to Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold made some money doing that last
Right.
year. Just like go get it. And T.J. Hawkinson, we'll talk about. They signed the two largest interior lineman contracts this year too for the offensive line. Beefed up the offensive line off of last year, and have maybe the best patch core when all said. Like maybe it's up there when you include tight end in it as well with the two receivers.
Hmm.
And a
Yeah,
great head coach. So I'm like, he doesn't need to even be like crazy. It's just like just throw it to your guys that are going to be open probably. Can you do that? So
I
there's a lot.
I will say, be prepared for me to be one of the first to try to jump on the random Cam Ward bandwagon
Yeah,
whenever
yeah,
that leaves the
yeah,
station, either late this year or sometime next year. He's just listening to his interviews is just like
yeah,
it's so just like coach's wet dream.
yeah.
I get hyped. I want to run through a brick wall for Cam Ward, and
And he's
it
a dude,
honest,
so
it's funny. Yeah, true. It's
Yeah.
funny how um that translates. So I kind of got roped into helping coach special teams in my kids' tackle football team, and at the end of practice, the coaches give a little thoughts, feedback, advice, whatever it is, whatever on their mind to wrap it up. I watch so many reels and so many things about motivational stuff, and I just like the very first one. I went Jay Billis. I afterwards I was like, that wasn't me. I was literally quoting a speech from Jay Billis. It was talking about it was sort of like your role doesn't define you. Your role is whatever your team needs for you to win that game. It can change every play, every series, every game, whatever it takes, and da da da. And they're like, coach, this is the end of practice. Don't get us fired up now. I won't be able to sleep tonight. And so going into this week, I got a text from our head coach that I'm to talk before practice, and then all the other coaches can talk after practice. So
Oh, okay.
that is my role now. So
You have a gag
anyways,
order on you. Okay.
that I get them motivated prior and then let them go fly around at practice. But I keep looking at Cam Ward and I'm just like, man, I just he's gonna take bumps and bruises, but I kind of want to see.
You like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, just I'm trying to it's kind of fun to sift through the bottom of the barrel because having that 2 QB league, I'm like, well, I'll need a third one. I didn't draft.
Yeah.
It just didn't roll that way. No, I got a third one. I ended up sniping Bryce Young late, like in one of the
Who's
last
your two
picks.
again?
I think it was Burrow, Kyler, and then I got Bryce
Okay.
Young
Bryce Young.
near the end.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
But my kid needs a third quarterback, so I was just like,
Yeah, I was
random
gonna say,
bye week.
Yeah.
We'll just see
2
how
QB
the
leagues,
schedule
you're gonna be
plays out.
lucky to get a for sure starter because the last 6 or so teams don't have for sure starters or won't be starters for the full season. So
Mhm.
there's only like 3 or 4 quarterbacks that are probably floating out there that are starters. So I would snag them regardless. If I was let your son know, like, you might want to snag him.
Yeah, you might not need 3 tight ends. Let's think about this.
Let's think about that. You just ultimate flex, like boom, there you go. Well, let's. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. I think I just looking back on it, was completely funny that Shador was supposed to go first and not him, and we saw how that happened. They made the right call, I think.
Yeah.
Let's go RBs, so we don't have to talk too much. I guess I'll ask you. I have one question up here at the top. Don't Saquon, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jason Taylor. Fine, all of them. Don't. Yep, amazing. Okay, first question comes Ashton Genty. I'm gonna throw out a take here, and Matthew, actually, my brother, placed a bet on this. I wholeheartedly agree. Omarion Hampton is gonna be the best rookie running back this year for the Chargers. Now, this did sound like a much better pick before their left tackle had his Achilles explode. But they did draft a top 5 tackle last year. Now he's going to switch to left tackle. So, like, of all the teams to be able to handle this, probably the best situation,
Okay.
but still is not good. You're still having to play your third string guy. But they're going to run the ball with their quarterback, with who their coach is. They're going to run the ball. Justin Herbert's going to let you, you're regardless of how the game's going, you got to be nervous that Justin Herbert's back there. So he's going to have some lanes to work with.
Right.
They're going to do some 2 tight end sets. I think Omarion Hampton is going to be a dude, like a real dude, like rookie of the year shot dude. So I see Ashton Genty going much, much higher, and I am saying like absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think Omarion Hampton's the guy because I like his situation more than I everything about, let's just say, like Harbaugh and Pete Carroll. I say they're probably pretty close, right? And just overall like coaching. Harbaugh only left the NFL because he drove the GM crazy. Like he not
Right.
because he was bad at it. Then he won a national championship at college. So like he's clearly knows what he's doing. So splitting hairs there. I take Herbert over Geno. I take the Chargers O line over the Raiders O line. I'll
Right.
take I guess technically the Raiders' other weapons, but like they both suck. Like it's not like one's great. So it's like, okay, you have the one that's, so I'm like, Omarion's in a better situation, and I think they were pretty close to talent level actually last year. So I'm like, I think Omarion Hampton's gonna be the rookie dude to snag this year. Didn't get him in ESPN. Did I get him in our Yahoo league? I don't think I did either.
I kind of see it like quantity, quality.
I think they're
Like
both gonna get fed.
I'm worried about Najee Harris, and I'm worried about like the way, I don't know. We
But
didn't get to
Najee
see.
sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Yeah.
in the red zone, are they going to turn to Najee a little bit more, and then Hampton's going to just be in between the 20s and just get all the yardage? But I don't know if we really saw much of the LA Chargers last year have two healthy running backs at one time until it was already kind of said and done. If I remember right, didn't one of them get injured, and so it was really just
They didn't have anybody healthy. That was the issue.
wasn't it Dobbins for the
Yes.
Chargers?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so and then he got dinged up, and then I forget who he's competing with. Like I just never saw it play out, but it was supposed to be that kind of thunder lightning thought and everything. I'm wondering if they're gonna try. I I don't know. I think it would play out Hampton's favor based on situation. Um, it'll be really interesting. I feel like Ashton Janty might just have more quantity, but that might just be early on. I feel like Omar M might eventually just become like the dude. Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting if you could get like a sweet trade going on, or if your draft hasn't, if it's during this week before the season starts, try to see if you could get a good value for Hampton before he's just like astronomically too much to try to trade
Yeah.
for.
I did snag him in our league. I got Bijan, Omarion Hampton, and Aaron Jones Sr. I like that. Obviously, my wide receiver course suffered a little bit because of that, but we'll
Yeah,
make up. We'll make up for that. But yeah, I went that route. So I'm a big Omarion Hampton fan. But
biggest bust in this first, like,
what are you thinking?
say
Yeah.
16, because I'm just kind of
Yeah.
looking. I just like, I understand Chase Brown because it's just he's the only guy. I think it's just based on the pure opportunity of being the guy, but I just
Talent wise, you're just not.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like I'm
Yeah.
not sold, and there's so many mouths to feed, and that, I mean, it's just a high power passing attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like uh, the only saving grace would be feed them the rock when they have the lead, when they're just trying to secure the win. But I feel like it's just going to be a lot like it was last year. And I mean, I guess he finished technically right there at like a top 10 running back. I just don't. I think it's a okay floor, and I don't think there's much of a ceiling.
I think talent wise, he showed he was the best running back in Cincinnati last year. Like, there's clearly like they were trying these guys. They had like 3 guys, 4 guys. He was like a practice squad guy. Got a shot. They're like, wow, that says more about the other guys I think they were playing rather than Brown, because they're like, wow, Brown's got some juice. I'm like, it's more to the other guys. Like the situation we said with the Raiders last year. I'm like, can anyone just get 3 yards a carry? Like, we're talking like historically bad. Can anyone just not
Mm-hmm.
suck? And that's kind of what they found there, Chase Brown, and the Raiders just never did. Now I agree with you. I think the issue is just going to be they have so many mouths to feed in that passing game, and Joe Burrow just gave him some money. It's just a lot of mouse in the passing game to feed, and that defense is going to be awful. Just might be the worst defense in the league. And it's gonna be high scoring games. They're gonna be behind a lot. I don't think the situation is going to. I agree with you. I don't think they're gonna be a lot of situations where they can use Brown. My one that I want to say is a bust is right below him, and I say Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
I think Father Time has caught him. Not. I just. He's just been there a lot. He's been nicked up. I'm just like, how? He's 30. How long can he do it? The last time he played a full season was 2017, his rookie year. He hasn't played a full season since. So he's never had 1,000 rushing yards. I just think that we remember his couple early seasons. We're like, wow, this is that. And I'm like, he's not that. Between the two, last year he had 1,400 yards. He had 8 touchdowns. That's nice, especially where really comes from is in the passing game. But like at a certain point, they might be really bad this year. I really like Kellen Moore, but he caught so many passes. I think the last couple of years, Olave he played like 4 games, and the second game he got his 2 snaps and was done again. Like I think there's gonna be some more mouths to feed there. He's gonna take a hit there. He got 90 targets last year in the passing game. That's gonna come down, and where that's a majority of your value comes from. I'm just sorry, I don't think you're gonna hold up. I just think he's not gonna hold up anymore. This is the year where the brakes fall off, just from wear and tear and getting beat up so much over the years, just taking too much pounding.
Yeah.
I want to see what Bucky Irvin does. First, we were talking over and over and over about Tampa Bay last year and what's going to happen. I want to see what he does now as a starter. He's like, I'm a starter. Let's see what this is now. I'm very, very curious what that looks like. Would love to have an answer. I don't. I don't have an answer because I don't know. But I'm sure going to be interested in watching. Who else? What else strikes your fancy? Love Kenneth Walker. He's going to get hurt, though, for you. I say that as someone who has him in a league. I paid for him in an auction. I'm aware he will get hurt for me. That's the game you play with Kenneth Walker. Talent, he has the talent to. I'm talking, and I'm not as a Seahawks fan. If you've seen this man play, like we're talking Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley territory, he's up there in talent. He just can't stay healthy. And I mean healthy is like misses at least 6 games a year, every year. If he could just miss 1 or 2, like Alvin Kamara, we're talking different. But like he just misses such chunks of years, it's just like it really lowers his value. And the Seahawks couldn't block for anything last year, and they should be better at that this year. But like it's just like he will get hurt, and I'm just very sad for his overall value for that.
I feel like DeAndre Swift is undervalued.
Okay, I'm going to take off my cap and say I agree with you. Now I'm going to put back on my cap and say that man hurt me so much in fantasy last year. I haven't done against him.
Yeah.
If I just got anything from that man, I make the playoffs for the first 6 weeks. He did nothing, and it cost me fantasy. So, yeah, he hurt me deep. He cut me deep. A man I've never met cut me deep. So, anyways, go off. You go. You go off. I'm sold in the corner.
Well, I think it's you see what he could be if he put it all together, and it's Kamara-esque. I think we've seen he can get over 200 touches and get 1,000-yard season, and then previously with Detroit, former offensive coordinator, now is new head coach there. It's just he's had a couple 70 target seasons, having almost 400 yards each season and good yards per reception. Like if you put something together like that, I feel like you're cracking the top 12. Like I feel like he's being drafted as like a low RB2, and I feel like he could be almost like a high RB2. Like, and I know that's not much of a difference, but I feel like there's a lot of value to be had there. I'm not really sure of anybody else in Chicago that I'd be like, I'd be worried about it. So it's just like
it's just him. Yeah,
I think it's nothing but upside. I'm willing to roll with it. And I think where he's being valued is like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think objectively that's. I mean, yeah, I completely agree. And the guy going next to him, David Montgomery, I don't get it. Like, I get the idea of it,
Yeah.
but like Jahmyr Gibbs is like the second guy taken. If you have a guy going second overall, because the first 4 or 5 guys are going because there's really not a timeshare, there's really not a timeshare. Like, we really need to be devaluing him a little bit because he's getting these 1 yard, he's getting 12 touchdowns because he's getting these short yardage touchdowns. What happens
Yeah.
if Gibbs gets those? Or at least not even all of them, just like 5 of
Half.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, half. And his
Yeah.
value plummets. Just craters. He barely would break 1,000 yards last year, if that's the case. Let's just say he cuts him in half. 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns was what he did last year. That's not where he's going. Again, he's going next to Swift, a guy who by himself like did that last year in a bad year.
A down year of 1,416 rushing touchdowns, like 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
Like that was like he was a couple broken tackles away from 20 touchdown season. Like
I'm just like they're going to feed Gibbs. It's the start of it, and I'm just like, I don't get why Montgomery is so high. Like, he's going over Pacheco, who's a starter for Kansas City. Aaron Jones, who's a starter for Minnesota, who beefed up their thing. He's a starter for Tony Pollard, who I really like out of Denver or out of Tennessee. Denver starting running back. Sean Payton loves to run the football. Like, Pittsburgh runs the football. Their only issue is they have 2 guys. It's going to be Warren, I think, right off the bit. Caleb Johnson has a shot, but like, he's going above all of these starters, and I'm just like, especially in some run-heavy teams. And I'm just like, I get that RJ Harvey might be a question mark. He's kind of projected starter right now. But I'm taking a question mark in a run-heavy offense over a clear number 2 backup who just fantasy value comes from runs inside the 5. Because if those go away, what is Tolbert bringing to the thing? Way back machine. What is Tolbert bringing if he's not getting rumbling inside the 5? Like, it just scares me that is solely what his value is based off of right now. And he's rostered 95% because of that. And I'm just like, guys, like, somebody else take him. I'm not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree. I would rather have, I was trying to see how far down I would say I would rather have Javonte Williams. I feel like he's going to be like the guy given the opportunity for at least the early down work in Dallas. Like, I'd rather have him over David Montgomery. Like, I feel like Montgomery needs to be a low RB3, RB4, like quote unquote handcuff injury and break glass in case. I totally agree with
I would say he has the most upside of all breaking of emergence.
Oh, sure.
Because he gets that goal line starter work. But again, at the end of the day, he is just essentially a handcuff that gets some goal line touches. Like, that's what he is at this point. Like, I don't see tripping head over heels for that value. Like, I just don't. So, is there a sleeper you like lower down? I think, I think Nick Chubb has some sleeper value. Not because I think he's going to be Nick Chubb of old. He's just a starter in Houston. They're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
With Mixon being out. He's just going so late, and he's just rostered in 70% of leagues. He's going so late for me. I've only done it in a auction league. I got him for like $6, and I'm like, a starter for $6 in an auction league, like, and he probably would have gone less, but I just was like, no one else could bid, so I was like, $6, no one else could bid, I get him, basically. So I probably could have gotten him for like $3, but I'm just like, $3 for a guy who's going to start for at least 4 or 5 weeks for me, and if he's at least decent, he's just going to keep the job. I'm like, that's fine. Let's see what you got. But then when you're drafting that late down there, I'm okay with that. I think I snagged him in. Did I snag him in our league too? I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out which way I want to go with it, because it's just like, who's a deep sleeper? A couple of the guys, I'm just like, well, one injury, but you can't predict that. But it's just like, it's one
barring
of those.
Injuries,
you could say a lot of dudes for
unless it's like a Zach Charbonnet, because again, Walker is going to get hurt. It's one of those.
It's a formality.
Yeah, like, they're gonna get hurt, so it's just like, okay, right. Like, I get that, but like, barring an injury, who do you? I mean, I don't mind Tracy for the Giants. I thought he actually ran the ball pretty well, all things considered, as best of a team that was. I think he's pretty good with the situation he had to work with.
Yeah, his per carry was really solid, and he looks good both the eye test and in paper. Like, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm beating up on Chase Brown, but I like what I saw out of Taj. Um,
Yeah.
it's like it's Taj Brooks, and he's just an athletic dude. I don't know, like Chase. I don't know. It's just like I wouldn't mind that handcuff or like just putting them on your
JT's
watch
just gonna
list.
fight Brown at some point. Like you're
Yeah,
just gonna fight him, meet him in a parking lot. It's a vendetta.
yeah. Do you take the Brian Robinson if it's super late value as an insurance
I did that
policy
in
for
my
CMC?
in the auction league. That's exactly the
Like that
deal I
makes
did. Yeah,
complete sense. Like
because he's that. Who was I looking at here? Oh dang, I just missed him. I agree with but you gotta play the game. Like I touched on it briefly. In either Pittsburgh or Denver, you just got to roll with who it's going to be. I think right now it's going to be Harvey and Jalen Warren. Those are the starters. They're going to
mm,
be very run heavy offenses, and would love to have that.
right.
Now it is a much bigger risk than other positions because Caleb Johnson does have some hype and has looked good, and J.K. Dobbins, we've seen what he does. You know what I mean? Like so there when healthy, J.K. Dobbins is a weapon. Who gets it? And so you are playing that game. But if you could tell me I'm getting a starter in either team, they're going much later because of that split. I'm throwing I'm in every league. I'm throwing a dart at one of those two. I'm like, all right, who can I like later on because the starters are going so late. Let me throw a dart at one of the four and see if I can get lucky and hit a home run with one of these four because they're going to be money players. They're going to be fed and they're going to be money players for that team. So I like that. Anybody
Yeah.
else you want to talk before we go
Um.
the
I mean,
thoroughbreds?
I do remember having Ollie Gordon circled for super late, picking a couple of
Okay.
those leagues, just knowing that just Devon in Miami's just been kind of dinged up here
Yeah.
and there, and it's just like when you draft a guy and he's a stud athlete, especially at the running back, and that's a burn and
Yeah.
churn, and who's the next man up. It's
Yep.
just like in a high powered offense like that, it's just like might as well have the handcuff at the ready just in case. So just
Yeah.
having stud athlete that has the handcuff is always nice to just stash on the bench and just see if it plays out.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Let's do the thoroughbreds, the runners, the sprinters. Wide receiver. Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, no problems. Again, talk about Puka. I saw you snagged him. I love Malik Neighbors with not Daniel Jones or whatever was happening last year. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't say Russell Wilson's a world beater, but he's not Daniel Jones. So there's that. Um, I feel like I'm gonna like real sleeper here. We talked about the guy opposite him last year. Oh, no, what is his name? Going super late. Wandell Robinson.
Yeah.
He's going very late for some early numbers he put up over the last couple. Like I feel like he's being slept on. He was a product. Malik Neighbors was going to get his, and with a competent quarterback, I think Wandell is going to benefit the most. And so that's where I'm like, he will get available passes that are just like not happening right now. So I think it'll
Mm-hmm.
benefit both of them. Like less worry about that, and a quarterback who could throw a pass. Like I think it's going to help both of them. Malik Neighbors is going to. It's hard to say more huge, but it's yeah, I like it. I actually think all three, whoever they play, Jackson Dart maybe not day one, but Jameis Winston's also a capable NFL quarterback at this point in their careers. So Russell or Jameis, so they're really protected. They're really insulated, barring whatever happens, and having a competent quarterback play this year. I feel like they got three guys better than their entire room last year. So
Yeah.
it's like they're like no more of this. Like so, I was very Malik Neighbors is I think being slept on because talent wise, he's going to be up. I think he's could be number 3 by the end of this year. If not, CeeDee Lamb, he's going to be knocking on the door. Who do you like, JT?
Oh man. I don't really mind much. I feel like there's a definite top 3. I feel like Neighbors is that fringe, that first tier. I
So
just
who's your 3? Who are you leaving off? Is it Amon-Ra or CeeDee Lamb?
oh for
That was your first tier. Jamar Chase, Jefferson, and who's the third?
Oh, I'm probably leaving off Neighbors. I'll probably go CeeDee Lamb
Okay, and you're
and
leaving off Amon Ra.
yeah. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm still kind of. I don't. I want to see what happens in Detroit with the
I
offense. I'm.
I
I'm
agree.
very
I agree.
suspicious.
A slot guy, I
Um.
think very dependent on Ben Johnson. I think CeeDee Lamb's just he's a monster. Yeah, wherever he goes.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you if you met those guys in person and we're talking about those five dudes, one of
Yeah,
them's going to stand out in terms
yeah,
of stature. They're not
yeah,
all built the same, and like, there's something to be said about
yeah,
6'3" plus that just is just a freaking gazelle on the football
yeah,
field. So,
yeah.
I agree with your Nico Collins take earlier. Just he's the only one to be fed. He's gonna get he's gonna get his aim. I was kind of surprised how well of a year Brian Thomas Jr. had last year. I feel like it was fueled by, I don't know, just like a ton of touchdowns. I mean, he had a lot of targets, but it just seemed like, I don't know. There's something to be said with your quarterback looking for you in the red zone. Like, it's a nice little bonus there, but I'm worried about sophomore slump. I'm not sure why. And then like with like Drake London, I know Penix is there now, and I feel like London ended pretty strongly with him. Looking at like the per game stuff, I don't know, it's kind of a little bit everywhere. That last game against Carolina he won a lot of fantasy leagues
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that performance. But otherwise, it's, I don't know. Penix is a lefty. The ball's going to spin different. Do they have to account for that? Do you think they bought a bunch of left-handed balls this offseason?
What is it? The jugs machine accounts for the lefty spin. I mean, legitimately,
Yeah.
do they have a lefty button? Because there's so little of them. Do they? It does spin different. So
Yeah.
I,
Wasn't it like the big story about like Jerry Rice talking to like when Steve Young came in
yeah,
and he had to kind of kind of like
yeah.
configure his mind on how the ball
Well, I
fades? Like,
mean, yeah. Scientifically, we know based on baseball, like natural motion of lefties and righties are different. Like
mhm.
just natural spin is just different. So yeah, it's gonna. I mean, the whole offense has to change. The right and left tackles have to change. Like it's just like it's a whole thing. And I mean, a full season maybe hopefully it helps. But yeah, it is interesting. It's crazy. Bring left-handed catchers back.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
I think I feel like Garrett Wilson, I feel like, is the one where I'm just like, I feel like he's in a kind of a similar but lesser situation like the Nico Collins. I feel like CJ Stroud is just a more accomplished passing quarterback, but like I feel like Garrett Wilson is kind of like one of the only dudes there, like mouths to feed. So I feel like he's going to get the lion's share. It's just, I don't know if we've seen really, other than his rookie year, just that full potential, and then it's really been kind of a weird last 2 years, but he's still posting 1,000-yard seasons. He's just, I don't
he
know. I
needs to get
feel,
out of New York. He
yeah.
desperately needs to get out of New York. It is the fact that he puts up those numbers. It is Megatron in Detroit before Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
You're just like what this guy could be with like a Matthew Stafford. Like you know what I mean? Like, and we were promised that with Aaron Rodgers, and it did not happen. 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers. If he could just get a Matthew Stafford, what could the ceiling be for this guy? And he hasn't had anywhere close to a Matthew Stafford in his 3 years. So I just, yeah, like I agree, talent everywhere, but like I think the ceiling is just capped because Justin, we talked about it, his value is going to come from running, really not throwing. He's just not a very good passer, and
Hmm.
he's going to get the targets. They will not be accurate targets, so
Yeah.
he's just got to do a lot of work. He would climb so far talent wise up this board if he had current Matthew Stafford, 38-year-old Matthew Stafford. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
looking at this right now, you talk about it. The first team to have two receivers. Oh, I guess technically, right before T. Higgins goes, right before in the list, Devontae Adams. They like go next to each other on ESPN. So it goes Cincinnati, then or the Saints, or not Saints, the Bengals, and then the Rams. The Rams have two guys that are like, if Matthew Stafford's healthy, these are two of the top 12 guys. So
Hmm.
I think if he was up here, Garrett Wilson is like, I have him above Brian Thomas Jr. I have him right up there with like Malik Neighbors, that territory, like right below, maybe even above, because like he's that good. He's got guys like me and you throw him a football, man. He still has 1,000 yards. Like, just get him a quarterback. And unfortunately, the same with right next to DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers ain't him anymore, I don't think. And his value is just not, it's not Geno Smith. If you had told me, JT, if 6 years ago, I'd been like, man, if only this receiver had Geno Smith throwing him the ball, not Aaron Rodgers, would I have been ran out of town? Like, if I was here, like, if only DK had Geno Smith throwing him a football in 2025 and not Aaron Rodgers, not 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
where would DK go? But, like, that's the situation he's in right now. Same thing. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's rough. Mike Evans, Mr. Consistency, he's going to get 1,000 yards. Lock it in. Don't think about it. He'll get you 1,000 yards. He'll get you 8 touchdowns. Take it to the bank.
Yep. Death, taxes, and Mike Evans in the Hall of Fame. Like, that's just it. Lock it in.
Floor of 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Boom. He's not going to get you. He's barely one time in the last 8 years, he's got above 11. But he's going to get you almost 11, a little bit less. Like, let's call it average, 1,880. And he's going to get you 10 touchdowns. It's 11 touchdowns. Yeah. He had 6 1 year. That really dragging the average down. But he's getting less yards now, JT, but he's getting more touchdowns as his years go. If you see that, like, it flips. Like, all double digits except for 1 year, yards the other years. You're like, okay, well, he just gets it done. So I was going to touch on this with Derrick Henry. I have stopped doubting Derrick Henry because, like, I was like, the cliff's coming. The cliff never came, so I'm like, just whatever. He's just going to do it until he doesn't do it. I'm not going to guess the cliff for him anymore. I will assume it will be there, and I just roll the dice that I don't take him the year it comes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait for it anymore. Same with Mike Evans. He will do it until he doesn't do it, and I'm not going to guess that he's going to do it anymore. So I've always been like, oh, this will be the year. No, I'm just done with it. If I have a chance to take Mike Evans, I'm going to take him there because he's going to just do it again. It's just what it is.
Well, did you see the Derrick Henry interview he had where he was like trying to he's on Dan Patrick's show, and then he wanted Dan Patrick to tell he's got to hook up with the whole Happy Gilmore 2 thing.
Oh, yes, I did.
And he was just like, hey, give him a shout out. I really appreciate, Adam Sandler's work. And he's just like, I'll get you in the next whatever project he's working on if you get the rushing record. And he's like, all right, bet, done. I'm just like, don't motivate Derrick Henry any more than you need to.
Billy Madison 3, Derrick Henry. Okay, let's do it.
He's just like the estranged like stepfather.
Yeah, something. Yeah, like yeah. But he was my guy. Him and Josh Allen, I really targeted my auction league, and I couldn't get them both because their price was too high. But yeah, Derrick Henry was the other one. I was like, I'm gonna just roll with Derrick Henry, but I don't want to spend like $64 on Derrick Henry. But that was the most a player went for. Well, him and Tide Saquon and somebody else, and I was like, more power to you, but I'm not spending the most money on him. But I am a fan of him. Shout out Ladd McConkey, like the quietest like rookie stud season, I feel like.
Yeah.
82 catches, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns as a guy who like, because it didn't happen right off the rip either. I don't feel like, right? Yeah, it didn't. He didn't like got 5.55. Didn't break 100 yards until like I don't know, I can count week 8, something like that. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, this guy's good. And so yeah, then it was just like, let's do the thing. And it's just him again. So
he only had 2 games of double-digit targets. I mean, just like when you put it that way, it's just kind of weird.
I think they're going to like, this guy's pretty good. We should target him some more. I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this guy, yeah. And they were at the end of the year. They were like, well, this guy turns out is pretty good at catching footballs. So quietly, him and Brock Bowers, man, they're just that AFC West had some rookie pass catchers. Like,
right.
Dang. Last year. I expect a Marvin Harrison Jr. jump. Too much talent, but they just need some consistency with that offense. They didn't have it last year. If there's any consistency, he just talent off the chart. He'll figured out. Like a Garrett Wilson. He just needs to figure it out more than Garrett Wilson does. Garrett Wilson needs Kyler Murray throwing the football, but yeah, they just needed a less traumatic situation there. But I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is great. I already talked about Worthy too. Kansas City, any number one Kansas City receiver because Rashid Rice is suspended.
Yeah,
Travis Kelce, I don't say is toast. He's almost toast. It's Worthy. Someone's gonna catch some passes for Kansas City. It's gotta basically be Worthy, I think, at this point. So there'll be some other guys, who knows. But I think Worthy's gonna be the guy that's gonna benefit the most in the early in the season. And then Rashid Rice is gonna take all of his thunder later in the year. But we'll get to that week 6. But yeah, I think of that. Who else, JT? Travis Hunter. What is happening? I want to see it. I'm not drafting him because I'm terrified, but I want to see it.
Yeah, I didn't want to get burned, but like I'm excited for whatever is about to happen. First of all, just gotta love the smile. You can see the entire set of teeth on the smile, like Cheshire Cat.
And as I scroll and the faces are really small, you can tell who it is. You're like, oh, there he is. Yeah.
But yeah, like wide receiver 3 with maybe some upside. Don't know what's gonna happen with it. Like how are we going like Debo-esque? Is he gonna get some like jet sweep? Like I don't know. I'm excited. Whatever it is.
It could be, depending on where you draft him, it could be league winning, could be not. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, is it like a more athletic Debo, which is like the craziest thing to hear. But like, yeah, he plays 2 positions in the NFL. It could be more athletic Debo. Can he hold up? Because he's not as big as Debo is the problem. And Debo already has a hard time staying healthy. But I think Zay Flowers too. Zay Flowers is going to be much better this year. I feel like. There's some advanced numbers that support that Zay Flowers actually had a ton of separation.
Ooh.
So I think year 3, actually Baltimore's receiving core in general had the most separation last year. They just need a couple other things to work on, and I think they'll figure it out. And I think Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, that read option is terrifying for everybody. And I'm not even on the field. So it's just there's gonna be room, and they just need to capitalize on the room. Zay Flowers he's 24 years old, born on 9/11. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, okay. Let's get that out of my mind.
It's fitting. Flowers on 9/11.
Man, but yeah, there'll be plenty of room. So it's just you got to be there, and so I feel like he's gonna take a huge step forward this year. I think in year 3.
Yeah, I was already thinking that, but man, he's just speaking some analytics, just pumping me up there.
Yeah.
I kind of want Keon Coleman to take that big step forward. Don't really have some type of big dude in Buffalo, and yeah, same similar vibe. But I know Shakir is just like that steady Eddie. He's gonna catch every single ball thrown at him, which is amazing. But I was also circling Jacoby Myers for Las Vegas.
I got a fight with somebody over Jacoby Myers. Like he was later, it was like double digits again. It hadn't been double digits for a long time. I was like, I want Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I got him as my wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
In the draft that we had, and I was very, very content with that. I feel like everything around him got an upgrade, and so it's just like, okay, cool. Like
it is Brock Bowers and him.
Yeah.
And the other team is definitely not going to come into a game and be like, I have to stop Jacoby Myers. They're going to be like, how do I slow down Brock Bowers?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a competent, good NFL quarterback now, and a competent NFL coach where he's like, look, let's raise the floor here, and we have a good quarterback. A wide receiver is going to catch passes, and it's clearly going to be Jacoby Myers. Like, you're telling me I get a competent offense and a good quarterback, and no one's going to catch passes, and there's one guy who's like really low in drafts, and it's going to be like that guy. I'm like, Jacoby Myers is catching those passes, and it's going to be a big year for him.
Yeah, you talked about like McConkey having like one of the quietest, rookie top 12, like coming into this year. Like Myers had one of the quietest 1,000-yard like seasons. I know like there's a lot of those, but I mean 129
I mean,
targets
he needed
last
he
year.
needed
Is
a
like,
130-yard game at the end to get over there. But yes,
yeah,
I get
but
what you're saying. Yeah,
it just
yeah,
like it's like, oh, he did,
yep,
okay, like
yep,
bet, like,
yep.
so I feel like the situation got better, and I
He did that
feel
with like
like,
Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew throwing him footballs last year. You know, like
hmm
sorry, Gardner Minshew. Some WSU love, some WSU not so much love. You know, sorry.
yeah,
Is he the backup for Mahomes this year?
yes.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I saw him in there. But yeah, love the Jacoby Myers. Yeah, that dude. Yeah, that. Yeah, love it. Love right above him. Love Cooper Cup if healthy. Huge caveat. We talk about with running backs, but if healthy, I still think he's got the moves because his game was never built on like speed or anything like that, and that's not what it goes. It's the route running and the head. That's not going away.
hmm
Just can he be on the field? And with that, like he's very good at that, and that's why those guys they just age a little longer. The good route runner, Jerry Rice, for example, was good until he was 40 because he was never a burner. He was like, I know how to get open. Like I just know how to get open, and that's what he does.
hmm
That's why I'm not worried about Devontae Adams. I know how to get open. Like, it put me in the slot. Let me do my thing. Let me run a route. Like that's why the Tyreek Hill's kind of guy I want to drop. When is the cliff? You're not a route runner. You're a burner. What happens when you're not that fast anymore? Like the cliff will be coming. So
yeah.
that's what I want. That's what I'm scared of. So like Cooper Cup can do it still if he's healthy, but like Kenneth, the Seahawks team, like what are you health wise, Seahawks team? So yeah,
How
that's what's gonna come down to
quick question, how old is Cooper Cup? What's your guess?
29.
32.
Ooh man, I should know. I was at
Yeah.
his graduation.
I agree
College
with
graduation.
everything with you. The only thing I don't like about Cooper Cup is that weird
The hair.
haircut in the
I
picture.
made a comment in our auction draft. I said his I devalue him multiple dollars for the haircut. Like, he is like absolutely not just for the haircut. Yeah, I just get rid of it. What are you doing? Welcome back
Um,
to Seattle, but stop.
he's channeling Heath Ledger in Knight's Tale with that haircut, and
Shout out. That's the
it's not a
second time
good.
that's been brought up today. Brought up today, Knight's Tale. Classic. Actually, a
That's
really
a
good movie. Really
that's
underrated, actually.
it's really, and the
Yeah.
soundtrack is
Yes,
fun. The
I used
rock
to have
and
their
roll,
soundtrack
yeah,
too. Back when we had
yeah.
CDs. Yeah. Yep. I no lie. Yeah. I might still have it somewhere. You know, I got my CDs probably somewhere. Who knows? But yeah. I don't. I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't totally hate the Keenan Allen back to San Diego move because they don't need him to be like some stud, and fantasy teams don't need him to be a stud.
hmm
He's just a competent guy because like they have so many projects out there. I'm like, just help Lad McConkey and Justin Herbert of like, I know you're an NFL receiver. Can you run a route? Because you should Google the guys who had targets for Justin Herbert last
Oh
year.
man,
It was disgusting. So they're just like, I know you're not great and you're old, but like you could catch a ball that's thrown by an NFL receiver, and I know that. And I'm just like, it gives a floor, and Herbert will trust it like he hasn't trusted things in the past. So like, I feel like that's a like I describe it as like a Madden player. I always did it as triangle is my button. It's my triangle. Like I'm in trouble. Don't look triangle. Where's Keenan Allen? He's an NFL guy who's been here for 10 years. He's not gonna screw me. Like throw it to him. Like So that's what I feel like Justin Herbert has never had the triangle button, and so I feel like that's good for Justin Herbert, and because of that, it'll carry some fantasy value. Like,
oh yeah.
is there anybody you're dropping, increasing? Who? Just general thoughts on guys.
Um, I don't know what to make of the whole wide receiver core in Green Bay. I feel like they're all fairly equal. I mean, like Golden is going earliest, but he's the rookie, so you're not sure, how that shakes out against Reed. It's just like there's different situations where I'm like, I'd rather like here actually interesting. dynamic: Chicago versus Green Bay.
Yes.
I would much rather have Love and whoever he wants to throw to, and just have Love on my fantasy team because I know like what I'm going to get out of that. Whereas in Chicago, I would rather have any of the hands
Options
guys, wide
versus
receiver, running back, whatever. And I just don't really want to deal with Williams, whatever ups and downs. And so it's just kind of like a weird dynamic in that way. And that's how Green Bay's kind of operated the last few years regarding their wide receiver
I mean,
core.
he literally said, the coach is like, we don't have number ones. We have,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, great, but that sucks for fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So I'm excited to see what happens with Golden. I feel like maybe there's some upside if just depending if Love takes a liking to certain dudes, but like historically the last couple of years, like no one's really stayed fully healthy. So it's just kind of been okay, hey, our Z went down. We need a healthy guy out on the, so it's just kind of whatever it is.
I think they drafted him to be the one.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to try to force him early. Will it work? That's another question. But I think they're going to try early. So if you're going to go one, honestly, and it's not shocking that that's why it's going this way in drafts. Golden is the one because they drafted him so high. He said last year we don't have any ones. Well, they drafted somebody really high. So I'm like, okay, they're trying to, regardless of what the coach said the year before, they're trying to find that one. So, and I did like him in the draft too. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. I think, JT, for your questions, both valid. I think they both get solved in positive ways this year. I think Williams
Okay.
is much better. I think Golden is the one.
Do you know what position he traditionally plays? I'm just looking at
He's a
like
smaller guy, so I assume the
he's
X.
5'11". Okay, so
I assume I didn't see any
something.
Packers stuff other than the game they played the Seahawks the preseason. I have no idea. So, but that's my gut. But again, it's the Packers. Who knows? I probably won't roster any of the Bears or Packers because of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm. If you're going to tell me I have to track a Packer, I'm doing it. I'm taking Golden, but I would rather not. Like I would rather, like you said, like Golden's going, but I'm 2 picks later, Jacoby Myers is going, and I'm like, I'll just give me Jacoby Myers, like because he's the guy getting all the picks or the touches, like that. So I'm not in the position to ever take a Packers guy because I'm always like, I'll just give me the other guy. I'd rather do that. And to your point on Coleman, I just want someone to be the one in Buffalo. Same thing. Like if someone just emerges, league winner. Like it doesn't matter really who it is. If Keon Coleman's like, I'm a number one in Buffalo, you've got Josh Allen. That's a league winner. Or like at very least you've locked in the playoffs. If you get Coleman where he's going and he becomes a number one, you're in the playoffs. If you didn't just crap the bed with everything else, basically. Yeah. Like stud. And I think it's Coleman. Man, I really wanted to be Coleman. I'm more apt to go to the Bills situation than I am the Packers and the Bears because it is Josh Allen. Josh Allen will make up a lot of warts. And so I'm like, I'll roll the dice with one of the Bears or the Bills. Roll the dice with one of the Bills because I'm like, man, that upside is like, again, playoffs lock. If I hit on this Bills receiver, I'm in the playoffs. Like, so yeah, love that.
I went down a rabbit hole here. I didn't know Fantasy Pros had. So it's just chat at Fantasy Pros. You click on a player. I clicked on Golden. It just does a little pop up in the window.
Yeah.
I clicked full profile, opens up a new tab. As I'm like reading his, recent news and I can bounce around across that, I'm like, oh yeah, he is 5'11". And then right beneath that, there's a little link and says, you want Matthew Golden fantasy team names? Like based on his name.
Okay.
And so I clicked it and it just AI auto generated. It just goes Golden receivers. I've got a golden ticket. The Golden Boys, the Golden Age, the Golden Goose, going for Golden Grams. Just like it's just going. And then there's a little voting system. You can like little thumbs up, thumbs down, like
sort by the ones that okay.
Yeah.
And for the next people, why is there no Golden God, aka It's Always Sunny? But whatever. And a picture of Dennis. That's like right there, boom. Or his face photo cropped on a Dennis's face. There you go.
Yes.
Let's hit up tight ends real quick. I'll have a question. I have a question for you, JT. I think it's a tier of 3 at the top. Brock Bowers, Ovs,
Yeah.
Kill, and Trey McBride. Trey McBride, very
Yeah.
quietly, like, has just been very, very good, especially for a tight end. So you break 1,000 yards as a tight end, only 2 touchdowns, but still 1,100 yards, receptions. That's a tight end, man. like for a tight end, like that is bankable production. So let's do
Yeah.
it. So that's my tier. Sam Laporta is just off. Do you agree? Do you put Sam Laporta? Sam Laporta has a mustache now. I just clicked on this picture and it's terrifying.
Ooh, that is thick and broad mustache.
A little split in the middle though. I don't know what to make of it. More cop than porn star. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah. Team names: Live in Laporta Loca, Laporta Potties. I agree with you. I agree. Tier 3, Laporta had just a redonkulous fantasy season in 23 for his rookie season. Number 1 tight end, and it was just a ton of touchdowns, ton of receptions. Last year took a small step back. I mean, he's obviously. I mean, with tight end, you're just is it tight end 1 or not? Like that's kind of like at the end of the day. But like the tier that I would set where it's just like you are equal to at least a wide receiver 3 or better, depending on your situation, really gives you that added value. Bowers is, well, let's just say he's a wide receiver 2, fringe wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Trey McBride is a WR2, and George Kittle can be a WR2, WR3. So Laporta has that. I just don't know what to make of it. And again, Detroit, question marks, what that offense is going to look like. I feel like he obviously could be fringe there, but like I'm really good with that first 3.
I have Sam Laporta and TJ Hawkinson there. Hawkinson will be much better, full year healthy. He had 0 touchdowns in 10 games. That's not, that's a fluke thing. That's not bankable. So I have them as the next tier. And then I have Travis Kelce in the 3rd tier. Pretty much by himself. There's some people who have him like Njoku and Andrews in there. I don't. I just go Travis Kelce because I know the upside of Travis Kelce. You know what I mean? Like Travis Kelce again, it has never been speed. It's never been any of that stuff. It is 6th sense with Mahomes. That hasn't gone anywhere. Like I have him in the 3rd tier solely because if he could just get back to that and protect his body for the long haul, because unlike everybody else, Travis Kelce has played so much football the last 6 years, 7 years since Mahomes got in, which is great for his like profile, but it beat the crap out of his body because he's played a full extra season and more than other teams have over the last like 6 years. So that just wears on people. And then people are like, man, he's toast. I'm like, yeah, he's getting up there, but like, think about it. Think how much extra football that man has played versus everybody else at the tight end position. Like it is. Look at the Kansas City receivers. Look at Pacheco can't stay healthy. The receivers for Kansas City, like they're just falling apart. Like,
yeah,
I don't blame Travis Kelce's for body for quit crapping out on him. You know, he's 35 and he's played a full season. Like he's gonna be 36 a month into the season. Like that's just a lot of extra football. I just think though that like I think this is his last year. I think he's gonna want to go out with a bang. I think it's like let's do the thing. Let me get back to this. Let's. He's clearly the last 2 years he's been protecting himself for the playoffs during the season. Not great for fantasy, but like this year's like let's go for broke again. Let's do it. I think he gets to 1,000 yards. Not prime, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, Kelce, but I think 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. Get back in there, but I think it's more of like last hurrah style, not because he can sustain that. I think it's like, let's do it one more time. Do I got 17 games in me to do this style? 16 because they'll have a bye or whatever they'll have.
right.
Just Kansas City, they'll have a bye. So 16 games. Can I get like 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns? I think, or 6, 7 touchdowns. Yeah, I think you can do that. That's how I'm there. And then after that, it's just like I don't care. Like I get Mark Andrews, but I just everybody else is it's a whatever thing for me. 11 touchdowns is fluky. I don't think he's going to do that again. He had 600 yards last year. Like he only basically caught touchdowns. Like that's what he caught. A fifth of his catches, JT's, were touchdowns. I'm going to say it again. A fifth of his catches were touchdowns. Yeah. I don't think that's going to continue. So
no, probably not. I will say there's enough tight ends to go around in 12-team league. Like I feel like there's about anywhere from the 12 to 15 where I'm just like, I'd be okay with,
They were
just depending on how
yeah.
my draft laid out.
There were guys who took steps, and I'm like, I'm not just like, who is the guy I drafted at the 8th tight end? Like now I'm like, like I drafted Evan Ingram. And I'm like, I get it. This year I get it. So, but like
Right.
Mark Andrews, Njoku, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9 already. Tyler
Yeah.
Warren also I get. Tucker Kraft I get.
Yes.
So like Dallas Goddard as well.
Yeah. I really like Kincaid.
If Dalton Kincaid and they could figure out their passing and not spread around so much, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
like if Kyle Pitts could figure it out, like I drafted it one really late. I have a backup tight end in that auction league. So I'm like, what if he does? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if he does? Like, don't spend a lot, but like again, like there is value there. Like people are like, he didn't get drafted that high for nothing. Like there is talent. Can he put it together? Colson Loveland too, Chicago. We talked about him a couple times last year. There's guys I feel like now where I'm like, okay, this makes more sense. But it's just like after the Travis Kelce, I'm really like, I don't know if anyone's gonna get anywhere close to 1,000 yards. I don't know if that's the case. So that's where I'm like the top 6 are like guys I think could get 1,000 yards realistically. Everybody else, 800, shoot for 800 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, and I say there's enough tight end ones to go around, set it, forget it.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. Or you could be like me when you get to the 3rd and 4th round and you just double tap Bowers and Kittle because McBride got taken right in front, and I was like, I don't really see anyone for a while that I really care for.
Those first 3 are valid flex options. Those 3 I would say are valid flex options. Kittle just playing with that. I mean, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 78, basically 80 catches. Yeah, that's a flex. You can do that.
So otherwise, I mean, like Kraft again, we talked about a little bit too many mouths to feed. But is he legitimate tight end 1? Yeah, technically. Loveland, a lot of mouths to feed. Rookie, kind of want to see where he gets his bearings, where he fits in terms of priority and everything. But like,
talent was there. They drafted him high.
Yeah,
trust Ben Johnson. Like,
so I there's more question mark. Like I'd definitely go Ferguson over those two. I feel like Kincaid. I feel like there's got to be enough reps for Kincaid to go his way. Like the most. Well, and I don't know what.
Too. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway. Yes. I don't know what to make of Tyler Warren's situation and Ricky walking into that, but he's a stud. He's a dude.
I mean,
both
him.
Loveland and Warren were first round picks. So
who's throwing the football is my biggest issue. But yeah, like talent, I love him. Yeah, Dallas Goedert, I feel like that is like that team feels like a tight end heavy team. He just has not stayed healthy, and if he could, that's where like okay, I can see it. JT not played a full season since 2018 or 2018 is rookie year. So that's where I'm like, man, you have not been healthy. But if you can be healthy, like this, I feel like the Eagles are just like, they run. Jalen Hurts isn't like a super deep ball thrower. Him like Devontae or Smith always gets kind of like medium and then extends it. Same with AJ Brown, gets a slant and it goes for 60 yards. Or I'm like, that's like perfect, like middle of field tight end offense. And I'm like, just stay healthy and you're gonna thrive, but you just can't stay healthy. So I feel like Dallas Goedert's like a really like. There's a lot of guys that I have more confidence with in years past with the tight end. I think it's again because we just talked about it. Like 2 tight ends are taken high, and I'm like, okay, they trust you now. Like that's injected some life into this position. So let's go, boys. Let's go. Sleeper, Jonnu Smith, Pittsburgh. I think he's going to be the tight end 1 over Pat Freiermuth. They're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets, like in Seattle.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith follows around Arthur Smith, and Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith. And
are they related?
Looking at their pictures, no. But he does so well with him as his OC that I'm just like, let's do it. Let's do it. So he loves him, follows him everywhere. So I think Jonnu Smith's going to be the guy. Like that sleeper. I have one sleeper. I think Jonnu Smith will take over for primary duties in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I got for tight ends.
Yeah, I was just like,
And
I know,
I guess Kyle Pitts too. I took a flyer on Kyle Pitts.
yeah, Ertz had the renaissance year. It's just like, if he does even like 3/4 of that, like, it's fringe. I think that's more
Yeah.
just like
I,
fill in back, definite
yeah.
bye week worthy, or injury, but I don't still
Yeah, I think it was nice
17
while it
games,
happened. Yeah.
66 he catches. Yeah, so I think it's just there's a definite cliff there, and then yeah, it's decent actually. I think in my
Hunter Henry
estimation
might be better
compared to
too.
years past.
Yeah, Hunter Henry might be better just because there's not a faucet of an O line for New England that
Hmm.
like Drake May will actually. I like actually back to QB. I like Drake May a lot now that like again it's not a faucet of an offensive line. They're like they actually have some capable linemen. It's still gonna not be great, but it's gonna be like again not traffic cones out there, not complete traffic cones. So like that'll help. Just May and Hunter Henry get some like some help out there, and that'll allow
Yeah,
Hunter Henry to
I'm
actually
I'm
hopefully do
seeing
well.
Hunter Henry finish 12th overall for tight ends. He had 66 catches for
There you go.
674 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was a tight end one last year.
There you go.
That was
There you go.
that was he's the gatekeeper. That line is the gatekeeper. So I feel like we have a more possibility of having tight ends with better than that this year. So I think it's getting a little bit healthier.
There we go. I like it. I like it.
All right, cool. That was good.
Sweet.
Good to be back. So yeah, we'll tee it up next time. We'll give you some fantasy baseball playoff advice. Get back into the swing of things with football now starting up, coming off week 1. Start sit, probably bench cut, add, mostly add. Who's gonna get hurt? Who's gonna go? Whoa, they have more target share or whatever than we originally thought. But yeah, it'll be good. We're transitioning. It's a season. It's September.
Yeah.
So I got a Blackstone. Sorry, bury the lead. I got a
Ooh,
Blackstone
nice.
grill.
I need one. I need one.
Costco had a deal and snapped it up, and I don't know. We used it a handful of times already in 2 weeks, and I'm digging it. I'm liking it.
I got it. I had to do ground beef on a pan in the house because I just have I have a grill, and obviously you can't do that. And I'm like, I need a black. I was thinking about that today. I was like, I need a Blackstone. So it's funny you brought that up, and you brought up Knight's Tale.
Yep.
Both today, and I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah,
Yep.
I need it. I need a Blackstone. Need to wait for the next Costco's. Probably in the middle of winter when they're trying to get rid of their Blackstones, right? I think, right?
Yeah, this was like a standard 36-inch wide. It was on sale
Yeah,
just last week.
Costco just sells stuff, so I gotta keep an eye
So
out for Costco. You've been to the new Costco, I assume, right?
yes, it's a
It's
mind trip because it's the opposite
yeah.
direction clockwise than the other one. But yeah, otherwise.
Most on the west side are that way.
Oh,
So
okay.
it must be all the newer ones or whatever. So I was like, okay, KP was like, my wife was like weirded out, but I was like, I'd been in a couple on the west side, and I was like, oh, this is just like that side. But it freaks people out when they go because we're so
Right.
used to the other way in ours.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so nice that like I can breathe at that Costco. People don't
Yes.
understand. Like we had one Costco for like hours in a circle around our town, and so people drive up 45 minutes to go to Costco, an hour sometimes to go to this Costco. You'd go on a Tuesday at 8 a.m. and or Tuesday at like 9, and there'd be a line already, and it doesn't open for another hour. Like that's how crazy it was because we were like, I need to get my stuff,
So
and
weird.
so we had another Costco, and I could like I described it to somebody at work was like I could stop and turn and talk to my wife in a Costco and not worry about being in someone's way because there's like a line. You had to like follow traffic at that Kennewick Costco because like
Oh
if you
yeah.
just stopped, you were in someone's way. You had to go down an aisle to talk to somebody to stop and like, okay, what aisles we need to go down because you can't
Mm-hmm.
do it in the main aisles.
No.
Like you just can't. But now this one I could breathe. I don't have to like constantly look behind me if I'm in someone's way.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's so
equated that to my sister teaches at Chihuahua, and they opened up at that new high school out there. And I was like, hey,
yeah.
can you tell a difference? She goes, yeah. My classroom size was averaging like 36 last year.
Oh my gosh.
Now I have like 30. We went from like 3,400 kids, to about 2,800 in the school, and it's going to get even less just because they didn't move seniors.
Oh
They
yeah,
only
yeah.
moved juniors and lower. So she goes, it'll drop down even from there. I was like, holy cow, that's like Costco and Richland, and just
Yeah.
like, hey, I can breathe now. And I bet Kennewick's like, phew. And I'm just like, well, Chihuahua don't get the biggest title or the title for the biggest high school. Kennewick, I'm kind of worried they're not going to have the title for the most pumpkin pie sold each year in the nation.
Not
That's
anymore.
just a trade-off,
That's just a
unfortunately.
trade-off. When I was like we were growing up, I remember going to Pasco's high school, and the hallways was like a different experience. It was like Costco. It was just like they've needed a new high school for years, and they finally are getting like 3 in the time. But I was like, this is insanity. That
Oh
was
yeah.
insanity. One time at the Costco, I was so you'll know this. There's as you're coming to the end and you see the aisle, the checkout stands. There's the flower shop to the left, and then
Mm-hmm.
or the right, and then the left they have like the proteins or the candies and that stuff. I saw someone that I knew off there, and I'm in the far left, so I'm like there, and I'm talking to them, but having to still walk with the flow of traffic. So I'm having to have the conversation as like he's in the aisle. I was like, "Oh, I'll talk to you later, man." I was like, "Okay." Like that literally happened where I had to go with the flow of traffic towards the checkout, walking slowly, and that happened at a Costco. I'm like, don't have to do that now. I don't have to like walk and have a conversation, try to have a conversation with someone in an aisleway. And that was it. The conversation had to end because I was stuck in a line of like 14 people.
Yep.
Like, and I wasn't in a line for register yet. That was just like the flow of traffic. Costco.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
it's so nice to like actually enjoy my Costco experiences now, and not try to put headphones on and get out. Like it's like a war zone. We had to do like, okay, boys, let's go, let's get out of here. Like
I got chastised one time because I wanted to order a pizza before I shopped, and then pick it up on the way out. I thought I was like being proactive. Some people,
because the Costco in Kennewick took like hours to get pizza.
Yeah, so one time I showed up and I was like, "Hey, I want to put in a pizza. How long of a wait?" And they said, "Yeah, 45 minutes." And I was like, "That's a little. I think I'm gonna get out before that." I'm like, and then I'm looking in their window and I was just like, "You guys have way too many slices." Like they had like more than usual. I was like, "Why do they have so many single slices?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get the whatever equivalent it is of a pizza, but in slices."
Yeah.
And then but at that point I'm only paying a couple bucks more. And it went and you get all those
sodas with it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was just like, this is kind of a win. And then I was like, could I get a box for all these? And they looked at me like I spoke ill of their grandmother. Like, how dare you try to outsmart our system? No, I will not give you a box about it.
They didn't give you a box?
No, they were snarky about it. It was really, I was just like,
wow.
I was just like, okay.
Well. There's definitely a different vibe at the new Costco. It's definitely a younger crowd.
Their wait time in their food court is just as bad because they have no idea what they're doing yet.
Yeah. I did one. We got 2 pieces of pizza and chicken oh no, they have a calzone now and ice cream. And so I got the pizza, and they give the foil, and I was like, they didn't give the foil. I'm like, where's the can I get and she's like, oh, it's right there. I was like, I want to be like, well, you're supposed to do that when you get to the first like, I'll do it now, but you should be doing this, like part of like,
you want me touching the foil?
Yeah, like out of the thing. I'm like, okay. And so I do it, and then she's like, and I was like, and oh yeah, the ice cream, she gets it. And then I'm like, a spoon? And she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, I got like because they don't have them off to the side yet because it was really new. I was like, I need something to. Oh no, it was a lid. I was like, a lid? And she's like, oh yeah. And it goes back there and gets it, and I'm like,
yeah,
no foil and no lid for my ice cream. Like I was like okay,
yeah.
And it didn't seem like they were that sorry about it either. That was the part that like irked me. I was like, if you forget, that's fine. Everyone forgets. Like, oh my bad. Like just go get it. But she's like I inconvenienced her. I was like, I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and you're not going to give me a lid for this ice cream? Are you a crazy person? like that's not going to make it to the door. Like
I will invoice you my car
Yeah.
detailing
Yeah, that is
bill
not gonna.
later.
It might even make it to the car. Like I'm gonna be back and be like, you know me a free ice cream because you didn't give me a lid, lady. Like,
And a onesie because it's
Yeah.
just everywhere.
I was just like, what? Do you see the cart? Like, is
Yeah.
it, like what do you think is gonna happen here? Like, follow me to the car. like, yeah. So yeah, but they're trying. Like you said, it'll get better as it goes. But I'm just happy there's another one that I don't have to like die going into. Because I do love Costco, but it was rough. The crowd was rough. I'm like, do I really need to go? And I would go during the day. I'd take my lunch at work, and I would just be like, I'm just gonna go then because I just couldn't. I couldn't fathom going a different time. So, but yeah, got some snacks, some cheap fertilizer this last time at Costco. So
There you go.
All right, sweet.
Cool. All right. Well,
Costco,
thanks
shoot
you
us
all
a
for
sponsor.
joining us. Say again.
Costco, shoot us a sponsor. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's
We're
get
Northwest.
it.
You're Northwest. Let's go.
Yeah,
I've been to your home brand. I've been to your home store. Let's do it.
Yeah. Come on. Be a friend. Like
Yeah.
I like large quantities, discount prices. Let's hook other people up with your exclusive membership.
Your protein is fantastic. I'll tell you what, Costco. Your protein selection is fantastic.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you listening. Take care, be well, and until next time, see ya.
See ya.